I want to answer this question before this video starts. It says, are you thinking about taking the year off to save the eligibility? Yes, I am going to be doing a 5th year, if that is what you mean by that question. I already have an outdoor season, so I have that in the bag. I have a cross-country season now that that is canceled, and who knows, we may not even have an indoor season. So I may have an indoor season, but even if I only had cross and outdoor, I would still take a 5th year. Planning on taking a 5th year. Yeah. What is going on, everyone? I am finally back posting some running content. This was last week's training, so it stretched from August 10th to August 16th. We're gonna go over all of that training. I ran 80 miles in that week, which was the longest I have ever ran in a week, so new weekly mileage PR. Hoping to run 85 this week. It is currently the 17th. I think I'm gonna upload this tomorrow, the 18th. Hoping to run 85 this week, but ran 80 on a pretty busy week too. I moved into college. I was, in a different environment and still got in 80 miles. So now that I'm in my own place, I'm hoping that I can do 85 and still feel just as good. So let's talk about the training. Okay, so Monday I just did an easy 10-mile run, nothing special, 10 miles at 6:38 pace. Felt pretty solid that day, but was a little bit tired from the long run I did the Sunday before. The Sunday before I did 15 at 6:08 pace, so ended up doing just 10 miles, kind of just feeling it out. Whatever I ran, and that was it. And then the next day I did 11 miles. It was a hill workout, and it didn't go as planned. I did make a separate video about this, but it is not up yet since I haven't had time to edit it. But did 11 miles, 7:21 average pace, but did 12 times 50-second hills, and did not feel good at all. Just ended up doing the hills a little bit slower. I think I was just drained from the long run 2 days beforehand, and on top of that, all the stress I was going through just because the next day I was, maybe it was even this day. No, the next day was my last day at home. So still like packing up and doing all of that stuff, which was pretty stressful. So overall, just wasn't my best day. And then the day I was leaving, August 12th, I did 10 miles at 6:07 pace through one of my favorite loops in Cincinnati. So it was nice to go out on Cincinnati with a bang. And then the 13th, I ran 11 miles with some freshmen and did 7:03 pace. Felt pretty solid. Ran that on roads in Mill Creek Park, which is gonna be where every single one of my runs is now that I'm in Youngstown. It's a huge park that has a ton of trails, a ton of roads, great place to run. And then I actually doubled that night and did 5 in the afternoon at 7:04 pace. So 16 miles on that day, so pretty high mileage day, but got a lot out of it. The next day I did some trails. Gonna be incorporating a lot more trails into my running. Don't really like trails that much, but it is nice to get some soft surface runs in and not be running on the pavement every single day. And I think it will honestly, get me some strength in certain areas that are weak, because trail running is a lot different than road running. But did 7 miles, just called it 7-minute pace. I'm not really sure what it was, but when we run on trails, basically just run off time. So I ran 49 minutes, called it 7 miles. And then the next day I did my long run, and the trails did some magic because I felt fantastic on my long run. Did this with one other freshman, did 3 miles warm up, 10 miles up tempo, 3 miles cool down, and it went pretty well. Let's look at the splits for this. I did 7:23, 6:42, 6:28 for my warm-up, and then got into the tempo portion. I remember I didn't feel great at the start of the tempo, but worked into it pretty nicely. 5:58, 5:55, 5:45, 5:47, 5:42, 5:37, 5:40, 5:45, 5:41, 5:43. So basically after the second tempo mile, everything was in the 5:40s, which is fantastic. A great 10-mile up-tempo portion, and then just cooled down around 7-minute pace and called it a day. 16 miles, 6:13 average pace. It was a really solid day. And then yesterday I did kind of a recovery run, did 10 miles, 7-minute pace is what I called it. Just ran 70 minutes, a lot of it on trails, most of it on trails. Ran 25 minutes out, 25 minutes back on trails, and then ran over to another portion of Mill Creek and did some grass loops. So I just called it at 70 minutes, called it 10 miles, and yeah, that is basically it. 80 miles on the week. What a fantastic week of training for me. Like I said, was feeling good. Was a little bit more kind of sore and tired than I normally would be, just because there was days where like I would run and then be like moving in the rest of the day, so I never really got to chill out. Probably lacked a little bit on the little stuff this week, such as, you know, some strengthening stuff, whether that's through like resistance bands, hip mobility stuff, stretching probably lacked this week, push-ups, core work, all that stuff. Pretty much lacked this week. Didn't really have a lot of time after Wednesday to really do a whole lot of that because I was moving in and such, like I said. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Gonna be putting these videos out every single week, so if you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.